What we haven't expected, unfortunately, for a while is a big profit coming out of General Motors in this case. So the headlines are General Motors is expected to post its largest profit in 6 years tomorrow. According to Sharon Turlip in this story in the Wall Street Journal, buoyed by stronger sales around the globe and higher prices on cars and trucks sold in the U.S. Of course, the other day, GM Chief Executive Edward Whitaker said the automaker would report impressive results for the second 3 months of 2010 and that it'll surpass the automaker's $865 million profit it recorded the first quarter of the year. So everyone's saying $1 billion. I don't know how much our guest can say, but I'll at least say congratulations, Mark Reuss, for such progress. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Paul W. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. I think it's a good thing to wake up to a headline and headlines that say you're about to make maybe the biggest profit you've had in 6 years.
Yeah, I flew back from New York here last night and saw that posted online from Sharon here in the Wall Street Journal. So it was a nice piece. I can't really comment though on earnings or any of that here, as you know.
Of course,
I need to keep my job.
All right, and I want you to. I want you to keep your job, so I'll just speak in general terms. So it certainly would seem that because it is all about product, once and for all, we've said it, product, 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 you have the product at GM and people are willing to pay the price to get the product.
Well, that's right. I mean, the rest of the business is really dependent on great cars and trucks. And yesterday again we were out at New York at our launch of the new CTS Coupe, which was just terrific and a lot of good reaction to the car. So again, as you said, you hit the nail on the head. We got to make things that people really want, and we are, and that is the core of the business.
And the boss and everywhere in between have made no secret of the fact they'd like to get rid of that whole government motors thing because they feel it's been a turnoff to potential customers. They want to get the government out, get that IPO out there. Do you think next week they'll be releasing some information regarding that?
I really don't know, and I really can't control or do anything about that. All I can really do is make sure that North America is we got our head down and we are hitting the ball, and we just keep launching great products and keep selling great products through our dealers and improving our customer experience, and that's what we're doing.
Yep, apparently it's working. Mark Reuss, president of General Motors North America. One last quick thought on the business itself rather than the business at hand with the Cattle Barons Ball, and congratulations to you taking on the responsibility as a chairperson. But that is, have you seen light at the end of the tunnel in terms of the relationship with dealers, former dealers, reinstated dealers, and all of that I know you'd like to put behind you to get just focused completely on the job of selling cars?
Yeah, I think, the dealer piece of this, we decided here in December that we were going to go and really use the opportunity to create a new relationship with our dealers, and we're going to, me being new into the job and our staff is relatively new, use that opportunity to really get to know the dealers and the new network, and just progress that relationship to a place that we haven't seen in many years in GM, and that's what we're doing, and we'll continue to do. So I feel really good about it.
Well, here's the transition I'll make to what we're also talking about, and that is the 2010 Cattle Barons Ball. And you can bet that Kate Dietrich made sure, the Great Lakes Division person from the American Cancer Society, made sure I had all the information I needed. And as difficult as the car business has been, and I speak from a little experience with our Paul W. Smith Golf Classic to benefit Think Detroit Pal coming up this Monday, and I thank GM and the GM Foundation, by the way, for a donation. Mark, it's been tough for charities like the American Cancer Society that they remain committed to providing much-needed cancer resources and services free of charge to members of the local community, but they can't do it without money, and one of the big fundraisers is, in fact, the Cattle Barons Ball.
Well, that's right, Paul W. It's great to see you and your show really getting out there and giving back to the community. And, General Motors wants to be a big part of that again, and we are. And the Cattle Barons Ball is really our first step back into that around cancer here, and we're really excited about it. Since '03 here, the Cattle Baron Ball here has really raised over $6 million, and I think it's recognized as one of the most distinctive events that we have here in Detroit in the industry. And I really appreciate all of our colleagues and other companies supporting that as well. Particularly Lear. Lear has been there from day one. And, the co-chairs, Rick Siebert and Betsy Meter from KPMG, that KPMG has really stepped up here as well. And it might be interesting to note as well that we have a new event, the Cattle Baron Shootout, which is preceding the ball itself in November. This event is Friday, September 24th, the Huntsman's Hunt Club in Dryden, Michigan. We got Orvis providing fishing lessons for that, and an off-road driving experience by some of our great Chevrolet trucks, and it's a great networking opportunity. And for anybody whose family or personally has been touched by cancer, mine has been very recently here with one of my very close family members here. So this just punctuates the need to have something like the American Cancer Society Cattle Barons Ball here in Detroit to really give back and beat this terrible disease.
Well, I love the new one, too, the Cattle Barons Shootout Sporting Clays event, Friday, September 24th at the Huntsman Hunt Club in Dryden. And you can go online to cbbdetroit.com, as in Cattle Barons Ball, but cbbdetroit.com. You can call 248-663-3400, 248-663-3400, and it's the shootout is September 24th, and then the 2010 American Cancer Society Cattle Barons Ball is Saturday, November 6th, right there on the campus of Oakland University, and ticket prices are, I think, reduced from when it first began, because everything's been reduced from a few years ago. I think it's $200, and I think that is a reduction. And along with Mark Royce, president of General Motors North America, serving as this year's honorary event chair, Rick Siebert and Betsy Meter of KPMG serve as the 2010 executive event co-chairs, and Chevrolet is the event's presenting sponsor. So that's all good news. And I'm glad, by the way, Mark Royce, as president of GM North America, you brought up Lear Corporation, because Bob Rossiter is very uncomfortable whenever I talk about him specifically or the company, because he says it's the team, it's the family. But all of the things they also have gone through, and yet they maintain involvement in our community and in charitable events. Again, our fundraiser for Think Detroit Pal, they've taken a huge position, and I'm glad they're getting some attention as well, Mark. Good that you gave it to him, because he can't yell at me, and I know he's not going to yell at you.
I hope he doesn't yell at me. We're just thrilled that the company and his team has been a loyal sponsor from day one, Paul.
Yeah, and there are so many companies that have gone through so much trouble and tough times, and they have continued to support Detroit, Michigan, the charities, etc. Hey, do you have a car in the Dream Cruise, Mark? You're going to have one or not?
Well, yeah, I got three cars here that I love each one of them, and not all of them are old classics. Some of them I just personally have been involved with. So yeah, I'll be out there and bring my family back here for the first time in a couple of years to see it again and participate. So nothing fancy or crazy. Just get out there and get in it and drive our cars. So it's going to be fun.
Nothing fancy or crazy. It's funny. Hey, just as a public service, my son Adam and I donate our services once again if needed. We were pushed into having to drive one of your GTOs in the past in the cruise. If, you're really hurting for somebody, we would like to offer our services if that's available again.
I may take you up on that. You don't have any tickets or anything, do you?
I don't have any tickets or a spot either, parking or otherwise. But
you got to keep it safe. Right. Got to keep it safe.
You take care. Keep up the good work. We'll look forward to the figures tomorrow, and we hope they're as good as everyone thinks they're going to be.
Oh, thanks, Paul. I appreciate the opportunity here to talk a little bit about giving back to the American Cancer Society right here in Detroit. And, boy, I just hope everybody is excited about the Cattle Barons Ball as I am. So,
thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Paul.
cbbdetroit.com, cbbdetroit.com, or 248-663-3400. Get involved. Sponsorships available, too, for the new Cattle Barons Shootout, September 24th, and, of course, the Cattle Barons Ball itself on November 6th, 2010. On the campus there at Oakland University, Shotwell Gustafson Pavilion. And it's all good, and it's all for a great cause. And, boy, we'll talk more about that coming up.